Edo State Governor Senator Mondo Okpebholo on Tuesday presented a budget estimate of 605 billion naira appropriation bill for 2025 to the state House Assembly. The budget questioned hope for a rising Edo is said to be 25% higher than the 2024 budget.
The 2025 appropriation budget is designed to achieve the goal of my 5-point agenda, which are security, infrastructural development, healthcare, food sufficiency, and education. We have also prepared this budget appropriation with the aim of achieving the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President. Therefore, we have designed the program into the state development plans, which remain the basis of my administration in 2025. Let me at this stage present the high point of the 2025 budget, tagged Budget of Renew Hope for a Rising Edo. Mr. Speaker, the proposed budget size for 2025 fiscal year is 605 billion. This is 25% increase from the 2024 budget.
We'll be taking a look at a review of the budget presented by the governor on today's episode of the program Political Insights. Jude Aweke is my name. Warm welcome. Joined here in the studio by Dr. Bartholomew Okoudo, the president of the Conference of Non-Governmental Organizations in Edo State, to take a look at a review of the budget presented by the state governor, Senator Mondo Okpebholo. Hello, sir. Warm welcome on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Before we take a look at the budget, which is the crux of the discourse on the program today, let's take a look at how would you assess Governor Mondo Okpebholo's administration so far? Just a month old, approximately a month old.
Thank you very much. A month old baby will be too early to assess. It's too early to assess. But we can see that from what we have seen so far, we have seen a good start. We have seen good decisions, and we have seen good foundation being laid. For instance, the recent restatement of staff that were disengaged by the former administration in Abuja University is a good development. I want to applaud him. Having restated them and directed that their salary owed them, 33 months salary owed them, should be paid immediately. That is a good one. That shows human kindness.
Yes, empathy.
Yeah. The restoration of the Okoudo land back to the community that was before now taken by the past administration, even while the matter was pending in various high courts and the people had CFO signed by the government. Yet those land were forcefully taken away from them. They have been able to restore those land back to the original owner. That decision is applaudable. The banning of market associations across market in Edo State is also laudable and is applaudable. He has embarked on some road construction, which
a lot of them,
which I have seen so far.
Yes.
And then road construction, precisely Upper Mission Road. I've seen that one, and then it's a good start. So basically, he's starting on a good note. But the one way I don't, as a person, I don't appreciate and I don't like is the desperately making effort to criticize the past government, to sweep under the carpet the achievement of the past government. Government is continuity. I was happy yesterday when he presented his budget. He said the budget will key into the development plan, Edo State development plan. I think Edo State will have 30 years development plan. He said this budget will key into that. I was happy when I saw that, when I heard that statement. That shows that there's continuity in governance. whatever the past administration have done well, it should be appreciated. And what he has not done well, it should be corrected. So the idea of witch hunting, probing, and all those stuff is a distraction, as far as I'm concerned. Improve on what the past administration have done. What they have done well, let it go. What they have not done well, improve on it. But basically, the new government is starting on a good note, and I urge them to continue in that spirit.
Okay, just before we get to talk more about the achievements so far, despite just being in office a few weeks ago. Now let's take a look at the issue at hand. The budget presented by the governor, 605 billion naira budget. It's 25% higher than the 2024 budget. So how do you say this?
Yes.
And the governor promised that it will kill into his agenda, his 5 points agenda, that he enlisted in his manifesto during his electionary campaign, and which is security, infrastructure, healthcare, food sufficiency, education, and all that. So how do you say the budget?
The budget, in my view, is people oriented. It's people oriented. Apart from the fact that it's 25% higher than the 2024 budget, there's one thing I admire in that budget. Recurrent expenditure is taking 37%, while capital expenditure is taking 67%.
Yes.
63%, which means a lot of money will go into infrastructural development. That is one aspect I appreciated in that budget. And of course, I'm not surprised because that budget is a product of consultation. I say so because
he rightly
consulted.
Said,
because we, civil society, on the 26th of November, we were invited to John the Digier Yegu Academy to look at that budget, and then we reviewed the budget. We made our input. So to that extent, I want to say that the budget is a product of wide consultation. In the civil society, within this short period of less than a month, civil society were invited to look at the budget before it was presented yesterday. I'm also sure other stakeholders were also consulted. So it's a product of consultation.
Successive governments did they ever invite civil society to peruse their?
They do.
Okay.
They've invited
previous administrations.
Yes.
Okay.
At least in the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, I've attended budget review of the past administration. But he building on that.
Yes.
It's applaudable. It's laudable.
Okay. So let's get to take a look at this sectorial review of the budget. Roads infrastructure in the state, 162 billion naira, according to the governor. For education, we have the estimated amount of 48 billion naira, and for health, 63.9 billion naira, and lastly, for health insurance, he allotted 1.8 billion naira. Is it a step in the right direction?
It is a step. I've earlier mentioned that for the fact that the capital expenditure is higher than the recurrent expenditure. I think in recent years, this is the first time we are seeing a budget like that, where the capital expenditure is higher than the recurrent expenditure. And the state of our roads. The state of our roads across the state is deplorable. So we're giving 168 billion to road is a welcome development. It's a welcome development because our road, the bad road network is part of the high cost of foodstuff. Because these foodstuff are produced in the rural area, they cannot be brought back. They cannot be brought out for sale.
Yes.
So bad road network also affect the security system in the state. There are some areas that cannot be accessed by security agents because of bad road network. So if it's able, according to his projection, implement in totality 100% his budget for road, his aspiration for Edo road. Maybe at the end of 1 year, we'll have a lot of road now being accessible. So that budget for road is something that we must applaud. Must applaud it, because Edo State, as we speak now, is in their need of road.
Okay, now let's talk about the allocation for education, 48 billion naira.
Now, one thing about the achievement of the past administration, even if this administration tried to criticize it, but it's something Edo people have come to appreciate, is the Edo Best. Edo Best may not have gone around all the schools in Edo State, because, of course, you know that it's not possible for government to do it at once. But for the school that Edo Best went through, benefited from it, it was actually good for the educational development of the children as teacher in that school. So having given as much as 48 billion to education, we want to see an improvement of the Edo Best. Those schools, he too, the governor, His Excellency Mode Okpebholo, have visited some dilapidated school. He visited some, I saw it on TV, he visited some dilapidated school.
A whole lot of them.
It's across,
especially in the state capital.
No, beyond the state capital, he has gone to areas in Ovia Northeast. Areas in Ovia Northeast. He has gone beyond the state capital to look at schools that were dilapidated. He said during his campaign, he visited these schools and he made the promise that he will renovate those schools, and he has visited the school. And for that, he emphasized his promise that in the next week, work will start in those schools. So, having now made such a provision of 48 billion for the educational sector, we want to believe that infrastructures in the schools will be taken care of. Not just infrastructure, building structure. There should be facilities in those schools. There should be facilities in those schools. The teachers should be employed. More teachers needs to be engaged in our public schools.
He promised to engage 5,000 teachers.
Yes, that's a promise. We want that promise to be actualized in the next couple of weeks. Let that promise be actualized, so that, because Edo State is good for education. What started Edo State out in the committee of states in this country is our educational background. We parade some of the best professors in Nigeria. We parade some of the best universities in Nigeria. We parade some of the best teachers in Nigeria. So education is like a hobby to us. It's like something you must do. So that's why I was happy when he now approved the sum of 500 million naira to AAU as monthly subvention. I was happy when he said he was going to, in this budget, he was going to touch other state-owned higher institutions, so that they will come back to life. Because a lot of these higher institutions, particularly Ambusale University and the College of Education and the College of Agric, I'm happy the last governor renovated the College of Agriculture, Igoriaki. But what is happening there? We want these schools to bounce back to life. They now College of Education that they have now been made into one College of Education with different campuses. It should bounce back to life. So I want to pray this government to lay emphasis on this, just like the way the past government did to State School of Nursing and the State School of Health Technology. Such priority attention should be given to AAU, which this government have done now. I'm happy they start there. It should be extended to College of Education, Igwebe, Abudu, and some other campuses. Then the College of Sport in Afuzi should be revitalized. And I'm happy this 48 billion budget can, to a large extent, take care of all these issues. We want our higher school to pass back to life.
Thank you, Dr. Okoudo. Let's take a look at for the health sector. 63.9 billion naira for health sector. Do you think it will go a long way?
It will also go a long way, because health is critical to development. A healthy man is a wealthy man. If both of us, we are not healthy, we cannot be here. We cannot. So, giving that huge amount to the health sector is a step in the right direction, because the health is the base of our foundation. We have the. I'm also happy now. He has made the Edo Specialist Hospital. He has returned back to the status where it was before, as a common man hospital.
Yeah.
Not the way it was with the past administration, where it was being run by consultants, and the common man like me and you cannot access those facilities. I'm happy the way he returned it now to be it's now Edo, I think Edo's still Edo Specialist Hospital, but now managed by Edo State government. The other day he appointed an MD. The former administration of Governor Obaseki did well in the Stella Obasanjo Hospital, but then we have some other general hospital across the state. We have in Igwebe, we have in Abudu, we have in Igwebazua, we have virtually all local government. Priority attention should be given to this hospital. These, of course, are the primary, secondary health institution. The primary health care center, the past administration did a lot. What they did should be consolidated on. What the past administration did should be consolidated on. Then coming to talk about the health insurance. No, the health insurance actually helped Edo people. A lot of person, not just the civil servant, the PWDs, for instance, they came to Amity, we were enrolled free of charge. Pregnant women, the elderly, they are all beneficiary of the Edo health insurance scheme. Then that policy, that health policy of the past administration should be improved on, should be enhanced through this budget, because health is the bedrock of any society. Without health, there will be no development. A healthy man is a wealthy man. Good health creates wealth. So I'm happy that FRC, a huge amount to the tune of 16 billion. And I'm very sure that the governor, the Okpebholo, attention is going to be given to health. With an assumption of office, the first commissioner he appointed was Commissioner for Health.
Commissioner for Health, yeah.
So I'm sure he has emphasis.
Person of Dr. Cyril
Oshomole.
The son of
Senator. I'm not aware whether he's the son of anybody.
Yeah.
Well, what I know is that he first appointed a commissioner for health, which means he has emphasis, he has attention, priority attention on health. Then it's laudable. I appreciate that. So, but in the next couple of months, let us see the physical, clear manifestation of that budget in place. And I want to appeal to the Edo State House of Assembly to give the budget a speedy hearing, a speedy passage. And I know that once that budget is given a speedy passage, in the less than 24 hours, the governor will sign it into law, and then begin to see speedy and quick implementation of that budget.
Okay, now taking a look at the budgets, would you agree that a new Edo is rising or has risen according to the budget? Christian, a new Edo is rising.
A new Edo has risen because definitely before the new government, Edo was not where it was before. We had a lot of achievements by the past administration that brought Edo State to the limelight, that brought Edo State to the forefront. The method of governance, no longer paper. A lot more brought Edo to the limelight. So Edo is not just rising, Edo is growing. Edo is growing, and what to appeal that the new government should build on the existing infrastructure, build on the existing policy and systems that makes Edo to be great among community of states in Nigeria. Edo State has had the opportunity of being invited to international events, even as a sub-national. In other words, where a country ought to be invited to, Edo State have been invited to such international program. So Edo State is actually in the limelight. So I want to appeal to the new government, His Excellency, the new governor, to build on what he met on ground. People have come from other country to understudy some aspect of governance in Edo State. So Edo is growing. A new Edo is also coming up through the efforts of this present government.
You made mention of having some reservations about the governor. on his approach to governance,
Yeah.
talking about criticizing his predecessor,
Yes.
the policies of his predecessor. Can you highlight more on that?
Now, there's no perfection in humanity, and no government is perfect. No government can do it all. His Excellency Governor Baseki did his best. He built on what His Excellency Senator Comrade Ali Oshomole did. And then Oshomole built on what Sareme Osubo did. Osubo built on what he inherited from Lucky. Governance has always been like that. There's continuity in governance. So he too should build on what he met on ground. He should criticize him, going to probe, calling the former governor name. To me, it's going to be a distraction to him. But the one that is good, what I applaud, is the vehicle recovery committee. I applaud that one. You cannot just run a state and at the end of the day, vehicles will be looted. When you leave office, allow other persons to also make it. But they need those facilities to keep government running. And I'm happy they've told us that they have recovered some vehicle. Once they recover the vehicle should be let go. Now, some of them gave out the vehicle. But coming to spend those state meager resources on probe is not something that is people want to hear at this time. Rather, improve what our government has done. That is my own view.
Okay, just before we round off, what is your message to Edo people, and what message do you have for the government? As you know, the year is gradually coming to an end, and we want to begin the year 2025. I think that is when the government will really sit to make a whole lot of appointments. Appointments will keep coming in the coming days. So, what's your advice to the government? And should Edo people, keep hope alive that the government led by Senator Mondo Okpebholo will deliver?
We should keep hope alive that the Excellency Senator Mondo Okpebholo will deliver. Because at the moment, as I speak with you now, as we are talking now, he is the executive governor of Edo State. Everything begins and ends on his table. So we should hope on him. At the moment, we should support him. We should give him our 100% support to enable him perform. He deserves our support. So I want to appeal to Edo people, both at home and in diaspora, to support the government of the day. I'm also aware that the election that brought him to power is now being contested at the tribunal.
The tribunal.
Yeah, I think they started
their maiden sitting
on the 9th, and we adjourned on the 17th, 18th of December. Yes, it's also a good development. It's improvement on democracy. It's an improvement on democracy. So I want to tell the people to allow those who have alleged to go to the court and prove. And those who have been alleged against, they should go to the court and tribunal and defend. This idea of social media trial, those people should play less on it. Let give room to the tribunal to look at the facts, to look at the issues, and come out with their final judgment. Until that is done, I call on the people to support the governor of present government of Senator Mondo Okpebholo. But we need to support that government. So there will be no solid democracy without opposition. So opposition in government, in democracy is very, very ideal. The opposition tend to put the government on its right footing. But democracy, opposition should criticize constructively. Constructive criticism. Criticism that can be substantiated. Criticism that are also people oriented. If the governor has gone to flag off the Benin City flyover at Ramad Park, let's give him time. Flyover is not what you do in one day. Flyover is a gigantic project that will take close to 2 years. He just flagged it up about 2 days. Let us see what will happen there. Let us see what will happen there. So it's too, for me, it's too early to see whether the flyover will succeed or not. It's too early. But we know definitely that some parts of Benin actually needs flyover. And Ramat Park is one of good points. It's one of such good points. And flyover. So let us be patient with the new government. If we want to criticize, let us criticize constructively. Let us criticize with facts. Let us criticize with the intention to move the state forward, not with the intention to bring down the government. Criticize with the intention of moving the state forward, with the intention of helping the new government to succeed, with the intention of giving direction to the government. Let us criticize in that manner. Let us not criticize in the manner akin to pull him down, akin to say this man, whether he likes it or not, he must fail. No. Whether we like it or not, if the governor fails, so they don't fail. If the governor fails, the people fail. If the governor is not doing well, the people, the brunt will be on the people. So for him to do well, he deserves the support of everybody. He deserves our support in form of endorsement of good policies and in form of criticism of bad policy. But such criticism should be done with facts and figures and constructively, not with the aim of pulling down.
For the government, what advice do you have for them?
The advice I have for the government is that they should be their policies and programs should be people friendly. People oriented. They should work in accordance with the very first function of government, welfare of the people. The very first purpose of government for the welfare and the security of the people. Of course, we didn't talk about security. In the budget, huge percentage of amount was also allocated to security, which I also applaud. I appreciate. Because you know that in the last couple of years, Edo State have been taken aback by a high level of insecurity. So that some persons cannot even travel.
Yes.
Some persons can no longer go to the farm. Women are being raped, men murdered, youth and others kidnapped. A lot of atrocity in the name of insecurity was going on in Edo State. And now that he's here and he allocated certain amount, a huge amount to security, we want to see Edo State actually secured. So we should pay priority attention to the welfare and security of the people. That is my advice to him.
Thank you very much, sir, for your immense contributions to the program. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. All right, we've been speaking with Dr. Bartolomeo Okoudo. Dr. Bartolomeo Okoudo is the president of the Conference of Non-Governmental Organizations. We'll be taking a look at the 2025 budget presented by Governor Mondo Okpebholo of Edo State. And so that's where we round off the program today on Political Insights. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.